Final Fantasy XIV is one of my most absolutely favorite games to play. It's got decent content updates, a great community, amazing graphics, a fantastic soundtrack, and a pretty decent combat system. You know, to a degree. But of course, not every single game is perfect. A lot of games will need improvements, such as like adding some small new content and even removing some content. Looking at you, microtransactions! Now, some changes can be minor, like adding in a few more additions to the game, while some can just be like, make sure your game fucking works properly! So here's a list of a couple of suggestions that I want to include in Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. Cue the copyrighted music. Number 1. More tank and healing classes. In MMORPGs, there are usually 3 types of characters to play. You've got your damage dealers, whose name is, well, self-explanatory really. The tank, whose job is to make sure nobody else on your team gets hurt. Except for you, because, you know, you secretly kind of want to die inside. And then you've got the healer, whose job is to heal the tank and any others who are just too goddamn stupid to fend for themselves. Now, in Final Fantasy XIV, you've got 9 different damage-dealing classes to try out and experiment with to see which one you like. Now, let's see how many tank classes there are. 3. Okay, so how many healers are there? 3. Do you see the difference here? Do you see that here's a pie chart? Do you see the fucking difference? And the thing is, when you want to do multiplayer content, because, well, this is an MMO, which means massively multiplayer online, you're going to want tanks and healers because they're kind of a priority in the game. But when those prioritized classes have less variation of how they want to play, not many people will want to play them. So, if you add in more tanks and healing classes, aka more variation, then people will want to play those classes. I know, it's fucking genius! Number 2. Subclasses. In most MMORPGs, when you're playing a class, there's usually more variation than just the class itself. For example, in World of Warcraft, when you're playing a warrior class, you can choose to be a tank or a damage dealer. Now, in Final Fantasy XIV, you can be a Dark Knight, you know, with a big-ass sword, using the powers of darkness to wipe out your enemies. That's a tank. Fuck you. Now, if we have the option to choose what kind of Dark Knight we want to be, whether it's tanking or just dealing shit tons of damage, that would be great. I mean, you know, just don't go too far on the variation. I mean, like, kind of like a guy in a full metal suit throwing magic around, that'd just be a little bit weird. Begone, knave, or I shall strike you down with my magic! I'm not gonna use thunder, though, because, like, you know, thunder and a full metal suit don't fucking mix. Number 3. More solo endgame content. Congratulations, Jimmy! You've now just reached endgame, which means you can do all the big boy stuff!
This is amazing! What can I do now?
Well, you can finally do dungeons with other people, raids with other people, PvP with other people. There's plenty of content with other people!
Awesome! But what if I want to do stuff by myself? I don't have any friends here and I don't
You can do daily quests! And? Well, that's it, you little bitch. If that's not enough for you, just go level up another class, shithead! I get it that, like I said earlier, that this game is a massively multiplayer online, which means most of the content will involve lots of other people. I understand that. But unfortunately, when you're just playing a damage dealer, it can take much longer for you to get stuff done due to queuing for dungeons or raids. Unless, of course, you got your own dedicated group of friends and players to join you, which I, don't. Due to tanks and healers being high priority, it is much easier for them to get stuff done. For example, here's me playing damage dealer. Oh shit, hang on, let me get some pants first. Hang on, oh shit, I'm sorry, Mr. Sniffles, I'm sorry, I need to get pants first, wait! And then here's me playing a healer. Well, I'm just gonna queue in for a leveling roulette and, Oh, I think my dungeon is ready. Number 4. More housing plot! Number 5. Faster leveling for gathering and crafting. Now, crafting in Final Fantasy XIV is kind of a big staple in the game. There are many features in the game that require you to do some crafting. Oh, sorry, did I say some crafting? What I meant to say was, you gotta lose your sleep for this! So, for an example, in the game, you can have your own little guild, of which you can... What? It's called Free Company, you fucktard! Get it right! Okay, sheesh! So you can have your own free company with friends and frequent players that can either help you with dungeons, give you advice, or just simply converse with you.
You stand on my head, I'll fucking end you.
And if you have your own sorry, force of habit. If you have your own free company house, you can have a workshop. Now, what do you do in the workshop? Beats me, because I haven't got one!